Hi and welcome to my channel once again, and to the part 4 of turning a wood bowl. So very welcome to you, and we're back in the shed. Of course it's still cold, and I'm ready to do what I consider to be the final phase. So let's have a look at what the bowl looks like now and what we're going to be doing on this part 4. So this is what the bowl looks like, and as you can see now, the faceplate is on the bottom of the bowl, and this is the part that we cut in part 3 and polished up and everything else, and this is the part we're working on now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to face off this part here first, and then we're going to start cutting in the bowl shape of the internal part of the bowl here. And we're going to be using the bowl gouge. I think I'm getting that right now. It's difficult to say. Well, at least it's difficult to say for me. So anyway, let's start this off and see how we go. So just facing off this first, deciding how thick this rim is going to be of the bowl, and then we're going to start cutting into the bowl and sweeping it out towards the outer rim. Right, let's get on with it then. So I've just put a pencil line round the edge here. As I'm starting to carve in here, I'll put a pencil line round the edge so that I know how thick I want the rim to be. At this stage I don't want a thin rimmed bowl, because I'm a beginner, and it makes sense to kind of at least get a bowl done without, at this stage, without breaking anything. So if I go too thin, I think that I could run into problems. But so far I'm kind of getting the idea about how to channel the wood out and scoop it out, basically. So I'll just continue with that now. Okay, so that went okay, I think. I have sculptured it out, and as I say, I think it went okay. And I don't want to go too deep. I'm fearful, and I'll show you what I mean here. So it's carved out. It's only a small bowl anyway. I can still feel some bumps in there. I'm just going to have another little go, but of course this faceplate has screwing into the base of the bowl. If I go too deep on this side, then I'm going to hit the screws. That's what I'm fearful of, and I'm probably nowhere near these screws at the moment. But that's what worries me, is that I'll catch one of the points of the screws around about here somewhere. But as I say, I'm going to just tidy this up a little bit. I think there's a little bit around the rim here to do, and I can feel a lump there that needs to be sort of straightened out. So I'm going to try and do that, and then we're going to start on the sandpapering. Okay, so let's see how this goes then. Now, yeah, it looks all right, doesn't it? But I can see some marks in there. Maybe they're tool marks, I don't know. I've sanded, and I still think I need to do something around the rim here, but I'm quite pleased with it, and I think I'll probably come back and do a little bit more sanding before I start to put the Danish oil on. So anyway, stay with me and I'll be back another day. It's another day and I'm back down in the shed, and I've kind of had a thought about the sanding of this bowl. I'm going to go back to a lower grit and start sanding again. I'm not quite happy about the lines and marks on the bowl. I'm also going to use the chisel just to put an accent on this side here. So I'm hoping that that's going to finish the bowl off today. So let's get on with it and start to sand and chisel. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that now. I've gone through the grits again and I've got a nice accent there on the bowl edge. So I'm happy now that I can put the Danish oil on and the sealer and the waxes. A couple of things about the lathe itself. What I've discovered is that this particular lathe, in the morning, if it's cold, it just doesn't want to turn. And the remedy I found is to actually slip the belt off the drive at the back here, slip the belt off and run the machine without it connected to the drive to the actual bowl. So just run the motor up and run that maybe for 5 minutes. Otherwise it's just sluggish and it just doesn't want to go. I guess it's the cold that's doing that, and there's probably nothing wrong. It's just the way it is in the cold. Anyway, let's get on with putting the Danish oil on now, and I'll be back to you with the finish of that because we've been through this before. So that's looking nice now with some Danish oil on, and I'm going to go and have a coffee and let that dry. I may put another coat on before the sealer, but let's see how it is when I come back after my coffee. So it's another day and the sealer has now dried on the bowl. Just going to spin the lathe up and take off some of the sealer with one of these kitchen scrubbers, just lightly on the bowl, just to take the surface off. And what you should see is some whiteness appear on the actual scourer itself. So let's do that. Just a light pressure. Now for the wax. So I'm going to apply some recommended wax, Hampshire Sheen, and we're going to apply this using a kitchen towel again. So let's get that ready. Okay, so I've put the wax on and we're going to let that dry for a while, and then we're going to come back and just buff this up to its final conclusion. So we'll be back in a minute. So now we're going to buff up the wax with some more paper. Here we go. Burnishing it in. Getting some heat in there. I may actually think I'm going to change the speed and make it a little bit faster today, I think. think that's it. The bowl's coming off. So now we take these screws off the base plate. So this bottom part here will be covered, or I will cover this with some baize, because it's well, we've got the holes here and you've got this dent here from the actual the kind of lathes made, I suppose, as it's kind of impacted into the wood. So I've just filled these holes up with some plastic filler, and that's really, I mean, it's a different colour, but it's just really to fill the holes up. As I say, I'm going to cover this with some baize anyway, so we'll do that and then we'll review in the warm, I think. Let's review this bowl and what's happened over the weeks to produce this bowl. Okay, be back soon. So we're back in the warm now, thank God for that. It's been really cold in the shed, but actually it's a few days later from when I finished the bowl down in the shed, and it's turned mild, so that's great. But I've had enough of that cold anyway. So the bowl, and here it is finished with its baize on the bottom, and that's really what I was waiting for anybody that didn't understand what I was doing there. This bowl has holes in the bottom where it was screwed onto the faceplate, so that's why this is the old method really. This is what we used to do in school, put a piece of baize on the bottom so you've got a nice surface to well, so it doesn't scratch anything, I guess, and it hides the holes. So this is the conclusion then. This is the bowl. And did I meet my goal? I think I did, because my goal was to try to see if I could produce a bowl, get the equipment, learn how to do it and produce a bowl. And this is my first bowl made out of sycamore. Yes, I think I've completed my goal. And yes, it's cost a lot of money to do this. It is a bowl, and I could have gone out and bought this, but my goal was to learn a new skill, and I've really enjoyed it. It's been difficult at times, but I've got there in the end, and I've bought lots of different blanks, more blanks than you could imagine, to further my experience. That's my objective now, to continue and enjoy the hobby. And you know, I may come back and show you what I've produced, but I'm just happy with what I've done so far, so that's great. I hope you've enjoyed these videos, and I hope that you will add your comments to the YouTube comment section if you have any. And well, that's bye from me for now. Whether there'll be another bowl video, I don't know, but that's it. I've completed my task. I'm happy with my bowl, which I will give away anyway probably, and we'll see you on the next video, I'm sure. So bye from me for now, and take care out there. Bye.